Make it loud, make it loud, make it loud. Owusu!
Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you. Who let you out of jail? Your case isn't coming up yet. What the fuck? No. Yeah, this is my half hour. It's called Eric Owusu Crushes. It's going to go Eric Owusu Crushes, and it's got a couple meanings, a little double entendre, if you will. First of all, I'm going to crush this shit. That's what's going to happen. And the second meaning is it's about all the significant crushes I've had on different people in my life growing up. You know, they say a lot of times growing up, a lot of people would say that the most important thing you can do in this life is find somebody to love on, somebody to cherish and hold. I got it from everywhere, from family, friends, religion, Disney princesses. Everyone said that this was the most important thing to do. So I tried really hard. I tried a lot. I had a lot of crushes, and I tried and tried and tried to make love happen. It didn't always work out. And by didn't always, I mean it never. It never worked out until it did, you know? So this is a little half hour about some of the most important crushes in my life. And it starts where most harrowing but lovely true love story romances start, at a kindergarten in a Catholic school. That's where the story starts. So I'm from Maryland originally. Yeah, some of you guys are here. All right, we'll exchange blue crab recipes later. From Maryland, grew up in Maryland, and from kindergarten to third grade, I was in this private Catholic school called St. Michael's. And from kindergarten to second grade, there was an adorable little girl in my class named Sydney. Sydney was my first big crush. Sydney was everything. She's a beautiful little black girl. She was rough and tumble. She would play sports with us boys. She was smart. She was funny. She was great. Now, this is Catholic school, so we're not supposed to be crushing on anyone except the Lord and occasionally the Virgin Mary. But we were all crushing on everybody. I had crushes on girls in my class. You know, the priest had crushes on boys in my class. Sinful thoughts all around. And I crushed on Sydney. Now, I didn't necessarily know the best way to interact with Sydney, so my default was to be mean to her. I would tease her and like get on her nerves, pick on her. And, you know, my little lizard boy brain immediately figured out that I got more of a rise out of Sydney if I was mean to her, if I would tease her or whatever, than if I was nice to her. Surprise, I'm the villain of the story. No. You know, and it's, I'm not proud of it, but that's what the situation was. I don't know. So like, for example, first or second grade, I remember I was fucking with Sydney, and she tackled me, she got me on the ground and held me down on my arms, and essentially said, stop fucking with me. But in my mind, I was like, ooh, we recreated that scene from The Lion King where Nala's like, pinged you again. Like that's, that's what happened. So, why do we do that? Why do we like make shit hard for people we care about? Why do we get on people's nerves? We confuse aggression with affection. Like, just because they kind of rhyme doesn't mean they're the same thing, you guys. So towards the end of second grade, Sydney told the class that her dad had gotten a new job and that they were moving at the end of the year. So for whatever reason, little second grade me got all the courage he could muster, his chutzpah, and walked up to her on the playground. She was getting ready to play hopscotch. And I was like, hi, Sydney. I like you. Will you be my girlfriend? And she looked me in my eye and she was like, ew, and just hopscotched away. Which is the appropriate reaction for that. I terrorized her ever since kindergarten. That makes sense. But it didn't make it hurt any less, you know? I was embarrassed. I had been rejected in front of all my fucking fellow second graders. It was bad. I was trying to love on somebody in my own weird, twisted way. It didn't work out. I don't know. I probably went inside the Catholic school to seek solace at the statue of the Virgin Mary holding a newly crucifixed Jesus in her arms to be like, you know, as bad as I had it on the playground, at least I didn't die a virgin like this fucking carpenter guy. God damn. Imagine? But that was Sydney, you know. So I finished out third grade at this Catholic school, and then my parents switched schools. I went to this public school down the street from me, near my house in Maryland, and it was my first public school. And a lot of you know this part of the story. In the middle of 4th grade, my parents tricked me and my little brother into moving and living in Ghana, West Africa. They yanked us out of school. Very bewildering. A little bit of trauma, a little bit of trust issues, residual. We're working that out in therapy. We're working it out. Hadley and I might have the same therapist. But, so, you know, I got one little note and my mom got scared and said, "You are moving to Ghana, I have declared." That's essentially what happened. So, like, you know, me and my little brother are in Ghana. We're staying with family we don't really know. I was scared, I was nervous, I was, you know, whatever. It's a little bit of trauma. They put us in school. I went to school in Ghana, and we had little, like, almost Japanese Sailor Moon uniforms. Like, I had the little sailor bib. Mine was like golden brown and whatever. And I didn't know what was going on. And the most perfect little angel in my class took pity on me and was new to the nice kid. Her name was Susan. She was my second crush. I had just been fresh princed. And in my mind, she was my fresh princess, you guys. She was really nice to me. You know, she could see the fucking fear in my eyes from the jump. And, you know, on paper, we matched a lot. Like, I was a little portly little boy. Going to the Catholic school, my dad got me fast food for breakfast all the time. So I got to Ghana husky, all right? I was a little chubster. And I was not confident, I was scared. And Susan was nice, you know? And in my mind, we matched in a lot of cool ways. Like, she had a gap in her front teeth, just like I did at the time. You know, I had little titties, just like she did at the time. On paper, we were a perfect match. So she would, you know, she showed me around, made sure I, you know, stayed out of trouble in the school, you know. And I was really nervous around her. You ever get nervous around a crush, somebody you're crushing on? You know, you get the butterflies in your stomach, you get that feeling. I didn't necessarily get butterflies. I had more of what you call buttermouth. Just words would slip and slide. I would just porcupine, that's all, folks. Like, that was just how I talked around Susan. I was really shy around her. But she was great, my fresh princess. And there was one Saturday where my little brother and I were begging for pizza. In Maryland, we would get our parents to get us pizza every weekend. And that's probably why they shipped us off. They were fucking sick of getting Pizza Hut every weekend. You're like, we gotta get these doughy little motherfuckers out of here. So we beg our uncle for pizza in Ghana. He gives our older cousins money to take us to the one pizza spot in the town. So we're walking around, we're in our Saturday clothes, big t-shirt, big shorts. It's 1999, 2000, that's what we dressed like Juvenile and the Hot Boys. That's what we did. Little flip-flops. A lot of Latinos call flip-flops chancletas. Thank you, black man, for telling me what Latinos. My man. Ghanaians are called flip-flops chalawates. So we're walking in the streets in our chalawates, just flip-flopping around. We get to the pizza place. It's small, so I'm the only one who could fit in there. So I go in the pizza place, I place the order, and I sit and I'm waiting for the pizza. And then someone starts poking me in my shoulder. And I look over, it's Susan's little sister. It's like her little mini-me, they had the same face. And she's like, hi. And I fucking froze, guys. Because that meant Susan was nearby. I looked all bummy in my fucking dusty shins and chalawates. I didn't want Susan to see me like this. So I just focused front and didn't say anything. I was like, if I just stay silent and don't move, I'll disappear in her eyes. Unfortunately, she wasn't part velociraptor, so she kept poking me, hi, and I was like, hi, yeah, hi, hey, yep, you're Susan's little sister, all right, yeah, I'm Eric, I'm in her class. Is Susan here? No, she's in the car. And I fucking froze again. So then at that moment, little sister's pizza got done, she took it and she's like, bye, and I was like, bye. She ran out, and then my pizza was not too far behind, and I got it, and I sat for 10 minutes. Because she could have still been in the parking lot. I didn't want to see her in order to see me. So that gets done. Salud. That gets done, and go to school on Monday, and Susan's like, hey, were you at the pizza place? Yeah, I said hi to your little sister. And Susan's like, oh, I'm sorry, she was annoying. I was like, oh, my little brother's annoying too. Fuck them kids. So we bonded over having little siblings, and we became actual, genuine friends. Like, we became school friends. And she helped me finish out 4th grade year, like get more comfortable being in Ghana, being a Ghanaian kid. And then I was there all of 5th grade. And we were really, really good friends. And I just sat on the crush. And then, summer after 5th grade, my parents decided we had had enough of Ghana. And they yanked us back to go live in Maryland. And we didn't get the chance to say bye to any of our school friends. And I never got the chance to tell Susan how much I appreciated her for like being nice to the new kid and being my fresh princess in Ghana, you know? And I don't know, maybe if I had told her I had a crush on her, I would have gotten a similar ill like Sydney gave me at the Catholic school. But maybe not. Maybe she would have been with the shits and would have had me over the house. We would have eaten pizza and tried on training bras together. Who knows? I guess we'll never know. So we go back to Maryland just in time for my 6th grade year. While we were in Ghana, my little brother and I, some other cousins who lived in Ghana had gotten shipped to Maryland. We were 2 trains full of African children passing in the night. So when I got back to Maryland for 6th grade, I had new cousins, one of which was my cousin George. He was a few years older than me, super cool guy, charismatic. He was fit, he was an athlete, and he was really good with girls. He was a player. So I would ask him advice with girls. He became an older brother figure. And that would come in handy, especially since I was going into middle school. I went to a big public middle school in Maryland, and that's where I met Miss Harvey. Woo, goddamn, Miss Harvey, oh my God. Woo, Miss Harvey. I can thirst after Miss Harvey because she was about as old as I am now. I couldn't thirst after Sydney and Susan. I can't tell you how hot they were as little girls right now. That'd be fucking weird. But y'all gonna hear about Miss Harvey. Miss Harvey was great. Miss Harvey was, beautiful black woman. She had the fucking early 2000s bob that every black woman had. Yeah, she was great. And she was my pre-algebra teacher in 8th grade. She was my math teacher. And she was great. She was super nice to attentive students who tried hard. So I was the teacher's pet. I was always on this shit with Miss Harvey. And she suffered no fools. If you were cutting up in her class, she would cut you with a look. And then if you kept cutting up in her class, she would cut you with her words. She had that black woman attitude. Fucking love Miss Harvey. God damn, Miss Harvey. And then if you kept acting up after that, she would cut you with the knife in her purse. It was a rough school. Had to have that thing on her. So Miss Harvey was great, attitude, all that, boom, beautiful. Also, Miss Harvey was thicker than a Snicker. Miss Harvey, Miss Harvey was built like a Disney mom. She was fucking, whew, Miss Harvey, goddamn, Miss Harvey. And at the beginning of my 8th grade year, Miss Harvey got pregnant. So all year, her belly is just getting bigger. She's growing this life in her belly, and I am growing bigger and bigger, a pervert who's into pregnant women. Have y'all looked at pregnant women recently? They're fucking hot. I understand why men don't play about their wives. Goddamn. Miss Harvey was everything. So I ended up having to talk to Miss Harvey a lot my 8th grade year because I needed letters of recommendation. My mom had gotten it in her head that she was gonna send me to boarding school. My mom couldn't help trying to get rid of me, guys. She had to get me up out of there. So my mom met another Ghanaian woman at a function, and the woman was like, oh, I have 2 grown-up doctor sons. And my mom was like, how did you get them to become doctors? So she's like, oh, I got them into these prestigious New England boarding schools. That's like a fast track to the Ivy League. Doctor sons. So all 8th grade year, my mom's making me take entrance exams to boarding schools. I went to New England to visit boarding schools. I had to get letters of recommendation. So I went to Miss Harvey. I stopped drooling for a little bit and walked up to her desk and I was like, hey, Miss Harvey, boarding school situation. And she was like, your parents want to send you where? For what? Oh, that's weird, but I'll fill out this letter of recommendation. Don't worry, I got you, baby. Oh. Miss Harvey. Goddamn, Miss Harvey. I hope she's all right. I hope she's doing well. Hope that kid knows how fucking lucky it is. Anyway. Goddamn. All right, so she fills out the letter of recommendation, and now it's June. It's the end of the school year. It's hot. Middle school, we don't have final exams, so everyone's just kind of phoning it in. And she asked me to carry a stack of books with her to the storage closet. because she's super pregnant. She's waddling and shit. Her back can't handle it. So she's like, Eric, can you help me with this? I said, hell yeah, Miss Harvey. So I'm carrying a stack of books. They're like up to here. I'm walking behind her, and that ass is pregnant too. It's big as fuck. Ooh, Miss Harvey, goddamn. All right, so we walk down the hallway, and we're getting to the storage closet with all these books. It's tight, and it's hot in there. There's one singular light swinging from the top of this storage closet. I set the books down on my shelf, and I lean back. She's leaned up on the shelf right in front of me. She goes, thank you, baby. I said, you're welcome, Miss Harvey. So we're kind of looking at each other. We're glistening. It's hot in the storage closet. And I'm looking at her. She's looking at me, and then she goes, and I'm like, yep, you're pregnant. You're very pregnant. We should get you up out of here. We get you some water. Gotta sit down, Miss Harvey. You waddling for two now, Miss Harvey. We gotta get you up out of here. I was into pregnant women, but I wasn't into pregnant women vomit. That wasn't one of my kinks. At least not yet. But anyway. You ever have a crush like that? Like you know nothing's gonna happen. It's an innocent little school crush. Like, this is like 2002, 2003. So I was familiar with the Mary Kay Letourneau, older woman teacher, young student, affair or assault, whichever word you think is more pertinent to that situation. So I knew nothing was gonna happen. And if anything did happen, I was like, I'm not gonna get Miss Harvey hemmed up, fucking around with me, little horny middle schooler. But had Miss Harvey and I fucked in that closet, she was already pregnant. Who would have known? Who would have known? So 8th grade gets done. I actually got into one of the New England boarding schools. It was in Connecticut. But they didn't offer financial aid, so my parents couldn't afford to send me. Yay, poverty! Yay! Yay, lower middle class circumstances! We're never gonna own homes! Sorry for the downer. Anyway, so I ended up bouncing around schools a little bit. I went to a tiny Christian private school, freshman and sophomore year. And I had a couple fleeting crushes there, but nothing too significant. I didn't have any game. I was still kind of gangly or whatever. I had no confidence. And it's probably for the best because private Christian school girls' parents don't believe in contraception or birth control. And as Facebook tells me now, private Christian school girls are very fertile. They all have several children. So had I had any type of game back then, I would have had 50-11 kids right about now. So that's probably for the best that didn't work out. But I ended up transferring the middle of high school. I went to 2 different high schools. So junior, senior year, I transferred to a big public school in Maryland called Bowie High. And that's where I met Britney. Britney was great, guys. She's amazing. Cute little mixed black chick. We had Spanish 2 together. And I saw her and I immediately crushed on her and I made my way to her. I was getting into comedy, like watching comedy, so she loved to laugh, so I made my way over. And we were great. We became friends, genuinely. We would do homework assignments together. She was mi amiga in Spanish 2 class. My caliente amiga. And she lived walking distance from the school. I lived on the other side of the county. So sometimes we'd walk to her house after school. She showed me Napoleon Dynamite. That was her favorite movie. I met her family, her mom, dad, little brothers. They were real welcoming. It was great. You ever crush on somebody more because they're peoples like you too? Like, you go into someone's house and in your head you're like, oh man, this is great. You invited me over for dinner. Can I have some of your food? Can I watch your cable TV? Can I smash your daughter? No? Okay, well, I'll settle for the cable TV. We don't got that at my house. Yeah. Also, so her mixed chick, Britney, her mom was black and her dad was Italian. Dad was a white dude. And in my humble opinion, that is the ideal racial delineation of mixed kid parents. That's usually the better combination. Usually if it's, black dad, white mom, the kids come out iffy. The kids come out a little wonky, a little half-baked. Isn't that right, Drake? So Britney was great and we were great. And so, that was all 11th grade. So then the summertime, I wasn't going to Bowie every day because it's the summer. So we were on the phone a lot. And one day I was at home. with the phone in my ear, I'm playing video games, and my cousin George is kind of hanging out. He's on the bed behind me, and I had been talking to Britney, and I was like, all right, Britney, my cousins are here, I'm gonna go play with them. I'll talk to you later. And George goes, hey, wait. You was talking to a girl this whole time? Let me say hi. No. Unless that's your girl. Unless that's your girl, he asked me. And she wasn't, so I said, no, it's not, you can say hi, whatever. So I hand him the phone, and I go play basketball and stuff with my little brother in the backyard, and my cousin's out there, and I was like, oh, it's fine, whatever. And what's he gonna do, pull her over the phone? Guys, he pulled her over the phone.
Goddamn.
But I didn't know. I didn't realize. So that summer passes, and I'm coming into my senior year of high school. I'm excited. And I'm like, you know what? Britney and I are great. We could go to prom together. She could be the one. I like her parents. They're the perfect racial delineation. Let me ask Britney out. Let's just give it a go. So I call Britney up. I'm like, hey, Britney, school starts in a couple weeks. I want to take you out on a date. Let's go bowling. I know you like bowling. And she pulls the phone away from her mouth, and I hear her go, it's Eric, he wants to take me bowling. And I hear George's voice go, it's fine, just go bowling with him, whatever. And thanks for laughing at my heartbreak. And so I go, was that George? And she's like, yeah. I'll see you Friday at 6. See you at the bowling alley, bye. So I get to the bowling alley, and Britney's there, and she's invited all her girlfriends to the bowling alley. And she's made this girls' night. All the gentlemen know exactly what that means. A lot of my homegirls are here, so today I would love going bowling with all of y'all, but then it wasn't so jolly G-Willikers. So I go up to Britney and I say hi to all the friends, and I'm like, Britney, can I talk to you? And I pull her aside and I say, you're dating George. You shouldn't date. I asked you out. This is a date. I wanted to take you on a date. George is a dog. Don't date. And she's like, yeah, I'm dating. That's your cousin. Why would you say? I'm like, no one is more uniquely qualified to tell you that George is a dog than me. Don't date him. And she's like, Eric, I'm dating George. He's my boyfriend. This is what it is. So then, for my senior year, I proceeded to revert back to Catholic school Eric, and I was really mean to Britney. I couldn't handle it. I was hurt, I was embarrassed, and I was mean to George too. I called him a dirty old man for dating Britney, and I made her feel bad for not dating me and for dating my cousin. I should have been hotter in Spanish class. I should have rolled my R's. That's where I fucked up. If I didn't roll my R's, rojo. That would have got her. Panties wet. That would have been it. Reposado. That's, it's right there. Yeah, I fucked up. Britney and I don't talk anymore, and neither do George and I, and he and I are family. We're all Facebook friends. They broke up the end of that year. She caught him in a lie, and then there was a bunch of other lies, and they broke up. So I was right. But yeah, we don't talk. And George and Britney are married to other people. They have a bunch of kids, so everything worked out well enough. But it sucks. We fell out over some Shakespeare shit, and I was Iago. So. It's for the English majors. But I learned from that whole experience, if you feel something real strongly, it's best to say it as reasonably soon as possible. As soon as reasonably possible. Because the truth is going to come out anyway, regardless. You might as well just say it, get it out there. And enunciate and roll your R's. Those are my takeaways. So, I graduate from Bowie, and I get into the University of Maryland College Park. College Park, Bubba Sparks, booty, 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 rocking everywhere, booty, booty, booty. No. Different College Park. That's the Atlantic. There's a lot of booty rocking at College Park in Maryland.
You're not wrong.
So I get into Maryland for college, and when you get into University of Maryland, they make you take a math placement exam to see where you're at. And I took it, and I bombed the shit out of it. I did real bad. You would think I'd do better on a math test sniffing after Miss Harvey like I did all middle school. But I bombed the shit out of it, so they put me in remedial math to start my college career. And the thing about dumb kid math is that it's full of dumb, fine, hot athletes, you guys. I accidentally hit the jackpot. It was great. There's a bunch of hot athletes and me. It was great. And that's where I met Ariel. Ariel was a competitive cheerleader for the University of Maryland, College Park. Yeah, she's gorgeous, black woman, light brown eyes. And she was a muscle mommy. She was fucking sexy swole. She was cut. She was my first in-person muscle mommy crush. You know, earlier in my childhood, I crushed after China from WWE wrestling. R.I.P. to the goddess. We miss you. Streets miss you. Well, no, I crushed after Ariel, and this time I was focused. I saw her. I beelined to her. I, got in with the laughs, ha ha he he. She loved to laugh, and we would walk around campus. She introduced me to the other cheerleaders, volleyball players. We went to go to the diner together. I felt like a big man walking around campus with this competitive cheerleader, hot as fuck. It felt good. Telling my friends about her. Oh, I'm crushing after a cheerleader. Like, fucking get her, bro. Save the cheerleader, save the world, bro. So in my head, I'm like, don't fuck up again. Set a deadline. Go after her. Go get her. So I'm like, I'm gonna tell her I like her and ask her out before the end of the semester. Fuck waiting a year. I'm gonna tell her before finals. You ever do that with yourself? You give yourself a goal to get some shit done. You become your own Russian gymnastics coach. They'll move your ass, you get up out the mirror and do some shit with yourself. Like, you ever? So I did that with Ariel. I asked her out. I was like, hey, Ariel, I want to take you out. Let's go out to eat. Let's go to IHOP. That's all I can afford on a freshman college student budget. So she had a car. She drove us to IHOP. I was worried. I was worried how that would go. Or, I've never fed an athlete before. I don't know how much, they inhale carbs. I don't know how many pancakes I would have to feed her. Bill came out to be like $30. That was fine. It didn't break me. So then we drive back to my dorm. I lived in this apartment dorm on campus. I text my roommate, hey, I'm coming back with a cheerleader. Clear out of the living room. And we get back, and my roommates were dealers. They were drug dealers. So there's weed shit everywhere. And I knew Ariel couldn't smoke. They test their urine, whatever. So we get in there and it reeks. It reeks of weed. There's weed everywhere. So she's like, what's that on the couch? I was like, that's oregano. One of my roommates is a culinary arts major. He's working on recipes. I don't know why he's doing that on the couch. That smell? One of my other roommates found a skunk in the woods, and it's our house pet. We're trying to housebreak the skunk. That's why it smells like that. She laughed, I laughed, and then I just did it. I was like, Ariel, I really like you. And I was worried about telling you. I didn't want you to feel like I was just your friend to try to date you, but I like you a lot. And she said, I like you too. Fucking yeah! It happened! I was about to date a cheerleader! And then she said, but... But I'm talking to this guy back home in Virginia. We've been talking all year. Let me go home. Winter break's coming. Let me go home, figure out what he and I are doing, and then you and I will talk, Eric. Okay? Okay. So winter break comes. We're on the phone. I'm in Maryland. She's in Virginia. And I talked to her, and she said she and he aren't dating. And then I never heard from or saw her again.
Yeah, damn.
It's my first ghosting, guys. And, University of Maryland is a pretty big school, 45,000 students, but it's not that big. I guess she just didn't want to say to my face that she didn't feel as strongly as I did. But it sucked, Here was another girl who was pretty and was nice to me, and I thought I'd found the one. I thought that was enough. This is my crush. She ended up crushing me. And I would come to find out that it takes more than someone being nice to you and being pretty to form an actual relationship. It takes connection and reciprocity, chemistry. There's a reason why this half hour is called crushes and not girlfriends. My whole upbringing, I was told, the most important thing to do is find someone to love on. And I was trying, and I was failing. And it didn't feel good. Until I realized it didn't have to be someone else. I went through all those things for reasons, and they were all valuable lessons. And I've had a lot of successful, loving relationships with other people in the years since then. But I found out that the most important relationship I could have is the one with myself. It's the bedrock on which all the other ones are built. And that's a cool thing. I'm crushing on this one baddie real hard right now. His name's Owusu. And I think we're gonna be together a long time. That's my half hour, guys. Thank you.